Hey guys, Robin here. Now this is a little bit of a different to my normal content, but today I decided to do kind of a tutorial on how I do some of my voices on here. But that's mainly just so I can remember how I did some of them, because I'm slowly forgetting how I do some of my voices, so that's why I decided to record this. Now, before we start, I do want to mention some voices I don't plan to mention are where it's basically my voice but in a different pitch, or some voices where I don't plan on doing again. So in that case, I'll first show you how I do my Funtime Foxy voice. Let me just record a track first. So I'm first gonna show off how I do my Funtime Foxy voice. So here's the track I have right now.
It seems you couldn't make it to my show, so I brought the show to you.
So what you want to have to do is to get that ringmaster voice that he has. Now, the first thing I do is go to Effects, EQ and Filters, Bass and Treble, and play a bass of 5.
It seems you couldn't make it to my show, so I brought the show to you.
So that's how it sounds right now. It doesn't sound very different, but we're still in the process of making it. So next we go to Distortion, do soft clipping, apply it, and now it sounds a bit louder now.
It seems you couldn't make it to my show.
Alright, then we do the same thing again, except this time we're gonna apply a medium overdrive. So now the track is gonna be very loud.
It seems you...
Now the final touch, we actually go to Filter Curve EQ, go to Presets, Factory Presets, and click Telephone. Mine's already had it, as you can see I already had it prior, and once we apply that, you're basically done.
It seems you couldn't make it to my show, so I brought the show to you.
That is how I do my Funtime Foxy voice. So the next voice we have up next is Photo Negative Mickey. Here's how it sounds unedited.
Wanna see my head come off?
Now for this voice, you obviously need to have a Mickey Mouse impression. I'm not really sure how to do a tutorial on that, so you might have to look one up or just try practicing it yourself. So the first thing we do is go to Effects, Pitch, and change the pitch to -5.
Wanna see my head come off?
Obviously, the voice is now 5 octaves lower. And now the final touch is just a simple reverb. So we'll go to Delay and Reverb, click Reverb, and we can just use the default settings. Let me just check that just to make sure we're on the default settings. All right. And that's basically it. That's Photo Negative Mickey.
Wanna see my head come off?
Now we'll move on to Oswald. All right, now we have Oswald. So here's the track unedited.
God, please have mercy.
Now, obviously, we're gonna have to pitch this down by a lot, so we're gonna be messing around with this. So first, we'll change the pitch of to -45.
God, please have mercy.
Now, just like Mickey, all you have to do is just add the reverb, and then we'll be done. So for reverb, we're actually gonna be using a different set. So here is my Oswald set. We have 75 room size, pre-delay 10, reverberant 75, damping at 50, tone low 100, tone high 100, wet gain -20, dry gain -1, and stereo width is 100. Just click apply, and then we're done.
God, please have mercy.
Next up is Suicide Mouse. So here's how it sounds unedited.
Real suffering is not known.
Now again, you need to have the Mickey Mouse voice, but sound like you're very sad or depressed. So the first thing we gotta do is get the echo effect. So what we can do is select the whole track and press Ctrl D. Then take the second track and go to volume and compression, amplify, and set it to -8. Then we stay on the second track, go to Effect, Pitch and Tempo, Pulse Stretch, and we have Stretch Factor 1.0, and Time Resolution at 0.3. And now his voice sounds like this.
Real suffering is not known.
Now what we can do is press Ctrl A, go to Tracks, Mix, and then Mix and Render. So now we all have it as one track. And then the final thing to do is add the effect on his voice. So we'll go to EQ and Filters, Filter Curve EQ, and we can keep it as Telephone, and let's click Apply.
Real suffering is not known.
And there you go. That is Suicide Mouse. Now, let's go on to Nightmare Suicide Mouse. Now here we have Nightmare Suicide Mouse. So here's what the voice sounds like unedited.
Real suffering is not known.
So the best way I can describe it is to make sure that your voice is deep and has a little bit of some rasp to it. That's the best way I can explain it. So what we'll first do is we have to select the track, go to effect, and go to pitch and tempo, change the pitch, and we'll set it to, let's just say -30.
Real suffering is not known.
And the rest of the steps from here is the exact same steps for regular Suicide Mouse. Control D, you'll go to volume compression, amplify, set this to -8, go to effects, pitch and tempo, pulse stretch, same thing, stretch factor 1.0, 0.3. All right, then we're gonna go to Control A, tracks, mix and render, and then we just put the telephone effect on by going to EQ and filters, go to curve EQ, factory presets, and telephone. And that's Nightmare Suicide Mouse.
Real suffering is not known.
Now the final voice we have here is Scraptrap. So first, this is how it sounds unedited.
I always come back.
Again, I'm not really sure the best way to describe it other than having a deep voice with some rasp to it. Okay, obviously that's not really how it sounded like, and the example I just provided doesn't sound exactly like the one I did here, but you get the general idea. So what the first thing we'll do is go to effect, go to pitch and tempo, change pitch, and we'll set it to -4.75. The reason it's so specific because I wanted it to be, at first I couldn't decide to pick between 4 and 5, so I decided to go in the middle with -4.5. However, thought it didn't really sound as deep as I wanted to, so I actually decided to go between 5 and 4.5, which led me to 4.75. So we'll click apply, and here's how it sounds.
I always come back.
Doesn't really sound too different, but it's okay. We'll go to delay and reverb, click reverb, and this time I do have a specific set for Scraptrap. So we'll have boom size 10, pre-delay 10, reverberant 75, damping 50, tone low 100, tone high 100, wet gain -20, dry gain -1, and stereo width 100. Click apply, and now we're done.
I always come back.
So yeah, that is all the voices I have done so far. I hope this all helped you at home. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.